Thank you very much, Laura, which I think has probably set the scene quite well for you. And I think to build on Dan and Laura's welcome, it is absolutely fantastic to see so many people here today. And I think Laura has neatly laid out for us just how important innovation is going to be to the sector and to the whole country in terms of helping enable that growth that we want to see. As part of that, though, it's really important that we understand what needs to be achieved, how we're achieving it, and the scale of the challenge, and ultimately just what that challenge can deliver to UK PLC ultimately, not just, I think as Laura has in turn, not just around what we're doing in the energy sector, but actually what we can do and the impact of what we're doing on the broader UK economy and how that can support all of the growth that we need to see that through. So I'm really pleased to have a short conversation with you today around what the sector growth plan is, what that actually means for all of that, not just to the networks, but to the whole of the engineering side, which is why I'm so pleased that as part of this process, ENA has partnered with BEMA, and Gisela Farmer, the CEO of BEMA, will follow on from me to explain sort of a little bit more about what the overall opportunities are and why this is so important. And I think it's important that you do concentrate all the time on those three elements: what we're doing in terms of networks, what we're doing to help enable the economy, the wider economy and the impacts there, but also last but not at all least is what we're doing for customers and how this impacts the customers that we're also reliant on. Now I think if you look at the numbers we've got here, everything is in billions, and it's the first time that the sector all told has come together to look at a single coordinated plan that's going to help deliver this growth. It's not just myself at ENA and my colleagues and Gisela and co at BEMA. It's also the UK government. It's the devolved administrations in Scotland and Wales. It's Ofgem, and it's a wider group of partners, all of whom who have a success in our electricity networks. Now, I think with those numbers, you can kind of get the impression that we're entering a pretty significant period, and probably, I think almost certainly, the most significant decade of network build-out since the post-World War era. And the investment that's required to meet that demand, to connect, as Laura was saying, the multiple of new industries from A to Z, literally across the country, is really quite unprecedented. And so the role that the investment has in that is critical, but the role that innovation has to play in that is equally unprecedented. So this is all happening in response to the UK's government's modern industrial strategy, and the electricity network sector growth plan is basically a blueprint of how we can make the most of this moment of opportunity. Now, as I say, innovation sits very much at the heart of this, because we cannot deliver networks at the pace and scale that our customers need without innovation, and we cannot grow a competitive UK supply chain unless we have the new technologies and the new ways of working that innovation can bring us. So what's the vision and how do we deliver that? So we published the interim report at the end of last year. That's available on all of our websites, both to BEMA and ENA, so please do take a chance to have a look at that. The final report will be published at the end of this summer, and will set out a 10-year roadmap. And that's a roadmap of our actions and our priorities. That's going to be grounded in evidence about the scale of opportunity, both, again, inside and outside the sector, and how electricity networks are at the centre of the UK's growth story. What I must stress, and this is really important, is we do not view this, and neither does government, as just another report that we can sit down at the end of the summer and say, yay, we've done it, published, done. Now it can sit there and grow, gather dust. That's not what it's there for. It is a pathway for every business in this country in terms of what we're doing to transform our electricity networks, and it has that level of importance about it. It is how we help enable that growth nationwide and how we deliver the change and utilize the billions of investment that are coming in this sector's direction. It's not just about that, though. It's also about how we create the thousands, the tens of thousands of skills jobs in every region across the country, and how they then act as the foundation for that wider economic development, how that looks at new manufacturing opportunities, how that looks to enabling, yes, Laura, more data centers, I'm afraid, but they are all part of the chain. But overall, it's how we and you can maximise that contribution to the UK economy. Now, I'm going to hand over to Gisela now, who's going to walk through the opportunities and the next steps for the report. Gisela, over to you.